Hey guys, back again. Now I have another story of police misconduct and a forced hospital visit. Now I don't feel too well, so you'll have to bear with me. This occurred early 2019. Things had really been kicking off at home here with the V2K and the harassment, and I'd had enough this night and called the police around 11 o'clock at night. I soon learnt that they were gaslighting me and weren't going to be of any use. So I cancelled the call out. I said I didn't want them to come. Strangely enough, they then contacted me using two phones via text. I've got the text messages here. So the first one, they're telling me to call the police station. We have concerns for your welfare. I said, I'm fine, thank you, and are going to bed. Appreciate the concern. They then text back on another phone. Thanks for your reply. Excuse me. There's a unit coming round to have a chat to you shortly as you called the police about your neighbours, ? And I said, I'm fine, thank you. Now these texts were received when I was in bed. I shortly get a knock at the door which I try and ignore. They're very persistent and I open the door to four policemen standing abreast out the front. They now tell me that my sister has concerns for my welfare and that I have to go to hospital. I tell them I don't want to and that I was in bed asleep. I ask if I'm under arrest. They tell me yes and that I have to go. I then start to get changed while two policemen wait inside here for me, two out the front. So I lock up the house, we walk down the drive and we're now standing in the middle of the road. It's like a ghost town out there. None of these cowardly neighbours dare looks. But I'm now surrounded by four coppers that are making out they're going to jump me in. They're cracking their knuckles. One says he's going to crack me in the back. Another says that he's best mates with my neighbour and that he went to school with him. That I doubt's true. Anyway, we're standing out there for that long that I get tired and tell them I want to sit down. They then open the back of the divvy van, and the moment I sit down, this high-powered car starts revving its engine just out of sight around the corner. They want me to believe that this car's going to come barreling through, hit the door and cut me legs off. I'm unaware, but they've called an ambulance, so there was no need for that type of police car, let alone the four officers. The ambulance comes and they load me in and strap me to the gurney. One of the cops comes for the ride-along, and he's glaring at me the whole time and cracking his knuckles. He's making out he's going to give me a belting while I'm tied down to this bed. The woman paramedic is prepping me for the defib. They're once again making out that they're going to give me the big jolt. Anyway, I notice that we're going a really indirect route. They call in that their patient is in cardiac arrest, and I'm thinking that they're going to kill me out in the middle of nowhere. They, of course, want me to believe this. They're also gaslighting me all the way there, talking about people I know and places that I've worked. I'm ushered through the ambulance emergency section into a small waiting room. Next door there's a room full of cops talking about what they're going to do to me. The whole place has that evil gang stalker grin and they're all staring at me. I'm eventually led into a psychiatric cell where I'm made wait for some time. While I'm in that cell, I hear people talking in a room just off to the side. They want me to overhear what they've got planned for me, and my sister's one of those in that room. Now, this wasn't V2K, they were actually there. I hear that they want all officers on site to come and jump me in. Someone says there's 11 of. Once I'm knocked out, they're going to strap me to a gurney and start to carve me up. Someone even says they're going to flay my penis, and I hear knives being sharpened in this back room. Every 5 minutes or so, someone walks past and rattles the door handle. They're trying to raise my fear and paranoia. Looking out upon the hospital floor, I see neighbours and even lookalikes. I overhear people placing bets as to how long I could last. A nurse rolls a gurney up to the window and starts rubbing it down. Another enters the cell and asks if I'd like to be sedated for the ordeal. They're really working on me here. The people in the back room are saying some horrible stuff, and they're wanting me to lose it. There's a hell of a lot of people in this back room at this stage, and they're making out they're going to burst through the door and give me a touch-up. They're sharpening the knives and they're talking techniques. Well, I'm getting my bearings back and I realise that this is a huge game of bluff, so I wait it out. This goes on for hours, but I finally wear them down and nothing happens. They give up, and the hospital seemingly goes back to normal. It's really weird. Anyway, a doctor comes in to review me, realises that I'm fine and I'm actually playing the game now. And she says that I still have to sleep the night. Well, I've still got these bloody idiots in the back room commenting on every little thing that I'm doing. Anyway, I pretend to go to sleep, and as I'm falling asleep, I've got my head down like this. They're making out that I'm choking my airways because of the way I'm sleeping. They're saying that you need 2 fingers between the throat and the chest, or you'll restrict your airways. So I'm pretending I'm asleep, but I'm making sure that gap's still there. So anyway, I played the game till morning. They tried to get me on antipsychotics. They tried to give me a bag of antipsychotics as I was leaving, but I wasn't having that. So, okay, so this was obviously a big game of deception, but for someone that's been mind controlled and is unaware of gang stalking, it can be very distressing, especially having a family member so enthusiastic on getting a false mental illness tag on you. I suggest that everyone stays away from hospitals. They do not have your best interest at heart. They want to get you for a prolonged stay each time until that stay is permanent. If you are in there, you have to keep your cool. Tell them very little and keep calm. It served me well anyway. All right, guys, I love yous all and take care. Bye.